This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a blessed Sunday. And in the news this morning for March 12, 2023, Kingston men listed as wanted for murder. The Kingston West Police have listed 3 men as wanted for murder. Being sought are Siobhan Lawrence, otherwise called the Devilman of Victoria Street, Kingston; Orlando Edwards, otherwise called the Sparks of Benbow Street, Kingston 12; Desiree Walker, otherwise called the Shamar or Lizard of 3rd Street, Trenchtown, Kingston 12. The men are being asked to report to the Denham Town Police by 5 p.m. on Sunday, March 12. Anyone with information that can assist the police in locating the men is being asked to contact the Denham Town Police at 876-922-6441, Police 119 emergency number, or Crime Stop at 311. Man jailed for trafficking Jamaicans. A 44-year-old farmer has been jailed for 4 years after he was found guilty of trafficking 2 Jamaican men. A Guyana police force statement said that Tito Brown was also sentenced to 1 year imprisonment on the count of withholding the passports of the 2 Jamaican nationals. Brown, who was arrested by police on April 28, 2021, 1 day after a wanted bulletin was issued for him, was also fined Guyanese $200,000 and ordered to pay $6.3 million in restitution to the victims. Brown, also known as Tommy and Yankee, appeared before Magistrate Wanda Fortune at the Linden Magistrates Court on Thursday. He was charged with 2 counts of trafficking in persons, and on each count, he was sentenced to 4 years imprisonment. The sentences will run concurrently. The magistrate handed down the sentences after an 8-month-long trial that began in December 2021 and concluded last August. The court was told that in November 2020, one of the victims met an individual in Jamaica who indicated that Brown needed someone to work on his farm at Caracara Creek, Linden in Guyana, and was willing to pay US $5,000 for the work to be done. The first victim reportedly informed the second victim about the opportunity, and together they arranged with Brown, who promised to facilitate all their travel expenses. The men left Jamaica on December 12, 2020, and upon their arrival, Brown instructed them to inform immigration that they would only be spending 2 weeks. Upon arriving at the campsite at Caracara Creek, Brown informed them that they would be spending 6 months at the campsite and confiscated their passports. The victims recounted that from the date of entry to April 24, 2021, they worked at the Caracara camp but never received any compensation from Brown, the police statement said. The victims added that Brown would visit periodically and demand that they work more diligently. Though he continuously promised to pay them, he never did. They were only allowed to contact their families from Brown's phone whenever he visited the campsite. They told the police that for 3 weeks, no one visited them and their supplies ran low, forcing them to leave the site. The victims were forced to venture from the camp in search of other campsites, walking through bushes and swamplands until they managed to locate a logger who eventually took them to a village where they related their story and made a police report, the police said. Court refuses to order police force to reinstate a cop. Former police constable Damian Davidson, who sought to be reinstated after a no order was made in March 2018 in relation to criminal charges which involved plotting with his girlfriend for her to be kidnapped, has lost his legal battle to remain in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The $1 million ransom was paid by the woman's grandmother for her safe return in the 2008 incident. Supreme Court Judge Sonia Wint Blair ruled on February 28 that then Commissioner of Police, who was the defendant, cannot be faulted for the decision he took based on the investigation in the case. The judge said she accepted that Davidson conspired with Frederica Wallace Radcliffe to stage her kidnapping, and that from investigations by the police, a portion of the ransom money was found at Davidson's house. Davidson, who was represented by attorney-at-law John Clark, had sought an order of certiorari to quash the decision of the Commissioner of Police not to re-enlist him in 2010 and to discharge him from the JCF. He was also seeking an order of mandamus to compel the commissioner to re-enlist him. He said he had a legitimate expectation to be re-enlisted. He disclosed he received a letter from the commissioner in September 2010 that his application for re-enlistment had been denied based on the charges against him. He was given 14 days to respond, and that was done, but he was only given a brief audience with the commissioner, who said his mind was made up in relation to the charges. Davidson said he was not given an opportunity to state his innocence. Owen Ellington was the commissioner of police at the time. The judge found that when Davidson made the application in March 2018 for reinstatement, he was no longer an enlisted member of the JCF. Davidson's claim was grounded on a bench of natural justice. The claim was also on the plea of outre for acquit, in which it was stated that a policeman acquitted of a criminal charge shall not be dismissed or otherwise punished in respect of any charge of which he has been acquitted. He outlined in his fixed date claim form filed in the Supreme Court that he was enlisted in the JCF in 2006. In March 2008, he was charged jointly with others with the offenses of conspiracy to defraud, obtaining money by means of false pretenses, and creating public mischief. He was served with a notice of suspension with effect from April 4, 2008, pending the outcome of the charges against him. A no order was entered against him in the St. Catherine Parish Court in March 2018. Davidson said the charges were based on a conspiracy between his girlfriend, Frederica Ratcliffe, and the two men to stage her own kidnapping in order to subterfuge her grandmother into paying for her safe release. He said after his girlfriend resurfaced, the police searched his home and found $200,000, which he was saving to buy a motor car. He outlined that he applied for re-enlistment in September 2010 and was informed that his application had been denied because of the charges against him. In response to the claim, Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Andrew Lewis testified that the no order was entered as the complainant indicated that she no longer wished to proceed with the matter. He said that the notice of non-recommendation for re-enlistment gave reasons which were the low level of productivity, the charges before the court, and the findings of investigations into those charges. He said the investigations revealed that Davidson had conspired with his girlfriend to stage her kidnapping. Davidson was found in possession of $410,000 in his home, which he admitted was a portion of the ransom money collected to pay for the release of his girlfriend. But Lewis said the matter was dismissed without the facts of the case being ventilated at the insistence of the complainant, the grandmother, and the court directed that the sum of money mentioned to be returned to the complainant. The judge, in handing down her decision last month, said the claimant received in the notice of non-recommendation for re-enlistment the information revealed in an investigation into his conduct. The claimant did not set out the matters said to have been uncovered in the investigation. He denied that the ransom money was found in his premises, saying he was lured into criminal activities, the judge said. Setting before this court an unblemished service record without acknowledging or even adducing any credible evidence in answer to the findings of the investigation is a manner of proceeding which did not find favor with this court. The admissions made to the police on the investigation and the CP about the matter concerning the allegations are grave and weighty matters which were not placed before this court by the claimant at his own election. Therefore, this court accepts that the claimant conspired with Mrs. Wallace Ratcliffe to stage her kidnapping, the judge said in her ruling. He was found in possession of $410,000 in his home, which he admitted was a portion of the ransom money collected to pay for the release of Mrs. Ratcliffe. The matter was dismissed without the facts of the case being ventilated at the instance of the complainant, and that the court directed the sum of money mentioned be returned to the complainant. The judge further noted, in all the circumstances of this case, the Commissioner of Police cannot be faulted for proceeding in the manner that he did. Attorney at law Robert Clark, instructed by the Director of State Proceedings, represented the then Commissioner of Police. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.